I'm a big fan of drones, FPV drones, and so one of my favorite episodes is when we introduced SeaJaye behind the goggles, and he talked about what it was like to be a drone pilot professionally and fly his drone around and get all the footage for our episodes. And I think you know, what he's done to elevate our episodes with his drone footage is invaluable. I love his drone shots. Now in all of our videos, I just wait for the money drone shot flying past the sign. He's so good. I really love the work he does, and it's one of my favorite episodes just to learn about what it takes. Can you imagine being behind the goggles flying that thing? It seems really cool. I want to try it one day.
What's the difference between anybody that's going to fly this on a weekend and professional, you know, what you guys do?
Well, these right here are the stars of the show, of what I like to say. These are custom-built FPV drones. So what we do is we strap a GoPro onto it and hook it up to the controller, power on with the goggles.
Oh, wow, goggles on. And they don't carry the weight of that GoPro?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've strapped 7 smoke bombs to the bottom of these things and flown around shows with them.
Oh yeah, and I hear you actually build these things,
Yes,
huh?
sir, yes, sir. They're,
That's
I can't
pretty
tell you
crazy.
what's more fun, whether building or flying. Even though I like flying and it's a lot of adrenaline, building these things are pretty insane as well.
Wow, what do you get, like the different parts? I mean, you build the shapes and everything? Or
Yeah, well, so
how does that work?
You get a frame, you build that up, and then from there, you come inside, and it's a stack or a flight controller, an electronic speed controller that then controls the motors. And then you have your video system, which feeds to our goggles, and that comes back to here, as well as a receiver that feeds to our controller. So everything that you guys see from the videos we make is what we're seeing while we're flying. So getting real close and crashing and all that stuff, we experience that, and I jump all the time to get out of the way.
Because you're looking through the goggles and you can actually see what's happening through that camera. Now, I saw out there at the track when we were doing the drift car episode, and you know, that your drone was right down there on top of that car and it was swinging around. It was really crazy. Is there any turbulence issues or any kind of wind that you have to worry about when you're getting that close to the subject?
Absolutely. So the closer you get, and especially them barrels of smoke, you just bob in those in the smoke, and then half the time you got to watch for debris of rubber coming at you, so we're dodging rubber, and it gets insane when you get behind them because it's a white cloud of smoke. There's nothing. And like you were saying, everything that you see is out of the front camera, and so when that's engulfed with smoke, you just have to go with your instinct. And we always joke around, you don't move. As long as you hold that position, you're good until you get out of the smoke. But
I gotcha.
For
and
that
so
split
now,
second,
do you have to see the unit itself, or can it be away from you and you're just looking through the goggles?
Legally, I have to have a visual observer, and this is my good friend Jason.
All right. Good Jason. All right.
Every time we go do a commercial event or anything like that, you have to have eyes on the drone. He just makes sure that if I'm not too close to people or a crowd.
So he's telling you.
We
you guys
communicate
are
the whole
on
time.
the radios and talking about that, huh?
Yeah, I maintain visual contact with the drone at all times. I also have to maintain audio contact with CJ. He's flying in the goggles. He can see out, but about 45 degrees, but the other, he can't see what's around him. So I make sure to watch out for obstacles, birds, people. He can't see anybody, and he really doesn't listen to anyone. He has to phase out.
How many times did you save his ass?
It's been, I mean, I talk to him a lot. He usually does really well. There's been a few times, like we're flying through forest or a park, there'll be people walking. And also, like if a car is coming by him, I can pull them out of the way. Because we are right next to the tracks.
Oh, right, because you got to be right
and
there.
That's like security for fans coming up, asking them questions.
It's good security. There you go. I like it. Now, how fast do these things go?
So we are legally bound to 89 or 87 knots or 99 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's part of the licensing.
Yeah. They have the capabilities of doing 125 plus. When we do drag strip events, we stretch them out to their 99 miles an hour just to try to keep up as much as we can. I mean, it's a little Tesla, man. There's no transmission, no nothing. So from 0 to 100. And
right now.
Yeah. And absolutely no. You know, we probably put a hole through your roof if you're looking for a nice little sunroof.
I assume you crash all the time. Do you? Or is it?
Yes.
You used to, or
No. I still do. Anybody that flies FPV and says they don't crash is lying to you. 100%.
Okay.
Every time I go out, whether it's something malfunction, which doesn't happen very often, it's usually pilot error. Whether it's hitting a tree branch or getting too close to a car, not being able to predict to where a monster truck goes and it lands on you, all sorts of stuff. So crashing is an everyday occurrence. The bus races are the craziest, and I didn't know that you shouldn't get lower than the buses because they come together and they can squish you. So I was flying around, and next thing you know, I dipped between the buses, and Jason lost sight of the drone.
I'm yelling at him, where are you at? Where are you at? Are you still up? And then he pops up and he's like, I was between the buses.
And it was at that point we decided it's not a good idea. We're gonna get squished like a pancake.
You know, you'd think a little flying machine like that wouldn't be able to get that rock solid footage, but he does, man. And he's the speed and the dynamics that he uses to fly past stuff. You can tell that he's having a good time, and I feel like I'm having a good time watching. You know, like, ooh, we're flying right past the sign or going through the letter. It's just cool stuff.
Okay, so of all these years you've been doing this, what's like the craziest thing you've ever shot or anything you're real proud of?
All right, so my most favorite and the best I've shot is with TJ, Tiffany, and Jared LaRue. They were doing backflips over their house in Orlando. So they've got a jump along with like blow up jump at the end, right. But they're literally just doing backflips up and over their house and chasing. Yeah, so you got to chase them between like a palm tree and their house. So you got to get up and around to try to film them and keep them in frame. But having these guys do backflips over their house and getting to film it has been the craziest thing.
It was just like a Thursday.
Oh my! It was. It really was. They were just like, "Hey, you want to come film us do backflips over our house?" And what are you guys doing backflips over there? Just in our motocross. I'm like, awesome. I mean, all right, absolutely. Another really cool shot was when we were asked to fly through the fireworks at the Auburndale Speedway for the Tour of Destruction. When they're shooting up the mortars, what we do is we'll try to go up to the top of them, kind of calculate where they're exploding, and then make that as like a dive point, as if you were diving down a building or something like that. So you come up, and then you zoom down, and you have mortars passing up behind you, and you're just trying to get it to where you have a mortar that explodes while you're coming down through the actual fireworks. And then there was the guy that drove through the troughs of gasoline, making a fireball go down the road. Was absolutely insane.
If you're really into drones like I am and you want to see more about it, check out SeaJaye on the episode Behind the Goggles. Here's the link right here. And go ahead and leave us some comments so we can see what you think.